Hey, what's going on, guys? Evo94 back with another action figure review. Today we are looking at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z First Form Frieza and Frieza Pod. So this is a figure I've been wanting to review for quite a bit since I got him about 2 weeks ago. I'm just now getting around to reviewing him. And here he is. This is an awesome release. I'm very excited for this. I am always a Dragon Ball Z collector first, even though I do review a lot of Marvel Legends and domestic figures and Star Wars, and Dragon Ball Z is my bread and butter. So when Bandai Tamashii released a first form Frieza, finally, after 3 releases of Frieza, of the same Frieza figure, I mean, they released the final form Frieza, I think, twice, and then they released the Golden Frieza, which is kind of like final form but golden, twice as well, before giving us anything else from Frieza. I mean, he has 3 other forms, and we haven't even seen it until now. Finally, we have the first form. Hopefully, we could dive into the second and third. That would be awesome, but, you know, baby steps. And what's exciting about this is that he comes with a pod. You don't have to worry about having to buy a third-party, you know, Frieza pod or, you know, anything else from another line to try to fit this in. I know a lot of people were doing that with the Trunks time machine. Obviously, Tamashii's not going to give us an SH Figuarts time machine, or maybe they could, but to combine this as a combo pack with the pod is everything. Is all I'm trying to get at here. Here's the front of the box, here's the side, there's the other side, and the back side shows some poses of the figure there. So let's crack it open. Here is first form Frieza with his pod out of the package, looking really good. So this figure retails for about $70. You get a full-blown Frieza figure and you get a full-blown hover pod for Frieza. That's about $35 each. I say that's a pretty good price. This is what makes this pack so great, because instead of just releasing a Frieza alone for $60, they released him with a pod for $70. You know, with shipping, maybe it goes up to, depending where you're getting him from, around 80 to 90. That's still $40 a piece for each thing. Honestly, that's great. Frieza comes with 2 heads and a total of 5 faces, 5 swappable faces, and 3 pairs of hands. We get an effect piece, we get a scouter, and we get a Dragon Ball, along with, of course, the hover pod here. So here is the alternate head that he comes with. It is a very expressive yelling face, very Frieza-like, and very nicely done. That is great. And the reason why we get an entirely different head sculpt here for an alternate head is because it is necessary to have an alternate head, because of the expressiveness here is so subtle. But with him yelling like this, the eyebrows, if you want to say, are lifted up higher, so that changes the sculpt here. So if you look at this head, you see how it's more calm, and you look at the right above his eyes on the other head, it's very different. The sculpt is different. That means the face plates are not going to be swappable. This yelling face cannot be swapped onto this one because it will not fit. The sculpts are completely different. So we get swap out faces for this head and swap out faces for this one. Let's focus on this head right now. It's more calm and relaxed and normal. We do get some more expressive faces though. With this head sculpt, we can apply this face right here, and it looks awkward like this. So let's go ahead and attach it to the figure and take a look at it. But first, before we do that, take a look at this here on the side. The ear is missing. We've got 2 peg holes there. On the figure, you can see the ear is attached and it is removable, and that gives you the ability to either have the ear without the scouter or have the scouter on. So that's a pretty cool option as well. Final face is this face expression here. Very subtle, but a different evil smile from Frieza. Again, this goes onto this head, not the other one, and we get the option of the ears there. So the way this works, you're going to want to pop off the face, and then the ear comes next. So there's the face that was on before, and then apply the ear to the next face, just like this, and just slide the face onto the head sculpt here. And there you have it. So now you get an angry face for Frieza. Here's a look at the face attached completely on the body. And then there is the final face for this head sculpt, the more calm head sculpt. You can see the subtle difference of the smile here. That was the first one, and this is the other one. So very subtle, but it is different. There's the ear. There's that same face. I removed the ear and I applied the scouter, and that's how it looks. It fits like a glove. It is a very nice option and alternative to display your figure. The fun factor all around is pretty incredible with this figure. So here is the other head sculpt with the raised eyebrows, and this has the super angry Frieza face right there. This one only comes with one alternate head, and it is this one, or one alternate face. This is the evil laugh of Frieza, and there is that face attached to the body. This one also does have an ear where you can remove it and you can apply the scouter. I want to show you this because it's crazy. Both head sculpts come with a different ear, so it's very subtle, but this ear cannot fit into this ear or into this face. It's crazy how subtle that is, but because of the raised eyebrows, they could not use the same ear for both heads. They had to do two different ones, so we get two different ears to play with, ones for each head. But you can use the same scouter for both heads just fine, although you cannot use the same ear for both heads. So pretty crazy how that works, but it is what it is. That's how it works. And this is what happens when you attempt to apply one of the faces from the calm head to the more expressive head with the raised eyebrows. It just doesn't work. Right, and as for hands, we get a pair of fists attached to the figure itself. Then we get a pair of open hands here. First form Frieza comes with the 5-star Dragon Ball, meaning we only have 2 more Namekian Dragon Balls to go. We have 1 through 5. We are missing 6 and 7. 6 is with Berter, which is an upcoming release, and 7 is with the Namek Bulma, the Namekian saga, or the Frieza saga, Bulma in her yellow outfit. And that completes all 7 Namekian Dragon Balls. So that is truly awesome that we're finally completing both the Earth and Namek Dragon Balls. Hopefully we get a Porunga to go with our Dragon Balls. That would be a nice surprise. Here's the ever so small effect that comes with Frieza, and this is meant to just peg into his finger so he can generate, or begin to generate, his Death Ball blast. So very cool. That's a nice little touch. And now we'll get to the coolest accessory, the hover pod here, which is very nicely painted. It comes with this translucent stand, so that's how you of course pose it up. I am all for that. And then the paint job is done very, very well. The sculpt is done very well, and they could have, just left it there. Maybe the inside, have it to where you just put the whole figure in it. But instead of doing that, they went with this alternative, and it is pretty much having an entirely different lower half of Frieza inside, where you can just separate the torso from the actual figure and plug it into this base, or this hover pod. What's awesome about this is that they detailed the inside of the hover pod. You can see all the controls in there. You can see the buttons and what would be a screen. The seat is red. The armrests are red. Got a little cup holder. I'm kidding. I don't know what that is, but that's black right there. This is detailed back there. We get a little, peg for his tail. You could use the same tail on the figure to apply it here. Very awesome. Whoever thought of this was a genius. I think I prefer this over just sticking the figure inside. It's great, and it's great that there's detail inside of it. It's not just all black or not painted or nothing at all. Because when you display them, you're probably just going to see this anyways. But still, that's awesome. I enjoy that a lot. So very cool of them to include this much detail inside the hover pod. So basically, you just separate the figure from the torso like this. That's all you do, and then you stick him inside. So let's do that right now and check him out. And there we have Frieza inside his hover pod, and this is just perfection in my opinion. I went all out and I tried to pose him as best as I could. I got him with the evil laugh face. The scouter's on. He's got the death ball generating from his finger. The tail is attached there, curled around the hover pod. The arm is resting on the edge, or the the side of the pod. There is just very nice look to pose this figure. It's hard for me to decide how I'm going to pose him. Should I pose him inside the pod or outside the pod? Honestly, at this point, I'm going to buy 2 Friezas just to display one in the pod and one out of the pod. Alright, so I haven't been able to really get a close shot at the figure, so I'll take a closer look at him real quick, and then we'll get onto the articulation of him. Nothing really crazy here, but just want to show you the, the little texture and detail that they added on to it. Could be shaded, of course. Anything could be shaded, it would be better, but it's not. Maybe that's an option that you could do yourself if you so wish that it was shaded, but I'm fine with it, the way it is. It's still the best Frieza first form figure we have on the market right now, by far. There's the backside, there's the tail, down to the feet. So now let's back up a little bit and check out his articulation. The head's on a bar jointed hinge. The neck articulates the head very well as well, so it's going to help it move up and down, left and right. Get some nice head tilts there. The armor shoulder pads, if you want to call it, they hinge pretty easy. At least they're not too loose. They don't fall on their own, but that hinges around. There's no alternative guards either, like Jace came with or anything like that. So the arms will go forward and back. They go in and out. We have that butterfly joint socket at the shoulder, so very nice range there. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Diaphragm joint at the torso, crunches forward quite a bit and back, waist swivel. Legs got the new groin articulation. Not so new anymore, it's pretty much the standard now. Forward and back, in and out. Whoops. In and out to an extent because it will pop off. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees. We have the ankle hinge, swivel, and rocker right there. As for the tail, you can see it's got a hinge, swivel, a little cut on the tail right here, so you can swivel this around there so you can pose the end of the tail whichever way you would like it. Alright, so to start off these size comparisons, I'm going to throw in Gohan and Chi-Chi, Kid Chi-Chi. The only reason why I even have Chi-Chi in here is because it's around the same height scale. That's the only other small figure I could find. There's Krillin, it's around the same height, but these two are probably the smallest SH Figuarts figures we have, not counting the the Chatsu that was pretty static. It was pretty much just an attachment to Nappa. Doesn't really count. You can see Frieza is taller than those two, but you can also see how small Frieza really is as well. The next comparison, I'll throw in Golden Frieza, and then we have the Final Form Frieza, which was the re-release of the Final Form Frieza, the more updated version. And we can see here they're around the same height, maybe Golden Frieza being the taller one of the two. If you're looking at their faces, you can see where their eyes are. Definitely is a little higher level than the first form and the Final Form Frieza. And then lastly, next to some more regular sized characters, we have Goku on the left and Bardock on the right. This Goku, of course, has the Captain Ginyu head with the scouter on, but it'll still work as a Goku stand-in. You can see how Frieza stands next to the two. I think the scale and the height are pretty spot on in my opinion. So one last final comparison, and this comparison is next to the Dragon Star's first form Frieza, which I had one point said this was a great figure. I cannot believe those words came out of my mouth, because standing next to the SH Figuarts one is, it really, I don't know what to say. It really shows how not so good this figure is. Now, this is a $20 figure next to a $70 figure. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a $35, $40 figure because of the pod. So it's a $20 figure next to a $40 figure. For $20 more, let's say $25 more, you can get this. Let's go with the SH Figuarts version. Now, don't get me wrong, for Dragon Stars, this is still a good Frieza, but it definitely isn't a definitive Frieza for sure. So there you have it, guys. That concludes my review of the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z first form Frieza with hover pod. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, be sure to check out my other reviews. Leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. As always, have a great day, guys. Bye.
That's crispy.